I used to think I was just lazy, that if I could just try a little harder, stick to the calendar, do what all the productivity experts say, then I'd finally catch up. I would finally feel like I was doing something right. I bought the planners, I downloaded the time blocking templates, I bought myself a little cube, I color coded my Google Calendar, and I hated every second of it. I thought something was wrong with me because none of it worked. I know now what was wrong wasn't actually me. It was the expectation that I should build my life like someone else's brain lives in my body. So, this episode is for anyone who has ever felt like the way you work doesn't work. And you're wondering if you're the problem. You're not.
Ever wonder what it really takes to build a business and a life that feels like yours? Welcome to That Big CEO Energy. I'm Callie, entrepreneur, operations whiz, and your go-to for the real, raw, and unfiltered side of business and life. Because let's be honest, entrepreneurship isn't just about strategy and success. It's about figuring out who you are in the messy middle, trying new things, well, just because you can, and creating a life that actually fits you. From solo deep dives to candid convos with powerhouse business owners, we're talking all about the highs and the lows and the why did no one warn me about this moments that come while chasing big dreams. So let's get uncomfortable, embrace the chaos, and make it happen.
I'm not here to give you a formula. I'm not here to give you a formula today. This is not what this episode is. There is no one size fits all productivity plan right here. Instead, I want to talk to you about what it looks like to have your own non traditional work style. And so, especially if you have ADHD or neurodivergence or just a different way that your brain processes the world, this is for you. And this is for me. We live in a world that glorifies consistency, right? We clock in, we clock out, we write the to do list, we check the boxes, we discipline, hustle, repeat. That is our cycle of life. It's just like on a hamster wheel. Do you feel it? But what if your best work doesn't happen in a linear line? What if your ideas come in waves? Mine do. Like my focus isn't something that I can schedule. Definitely not. So let me share with you what my work style actually looks like. So some days I can sit down and I can write 3 months of content in a single afternoon. I can just sit and put that all together. Other days, I literally just stare at my laptop for 3 hours and I answer one email. Like, this is just how I'm wired. And then some weeks, like, I'm lit up and I'm on social and I'm super interactive. I mean, you guys see it. And like, my brain is sprinting towards strategy. I'm doing all the things. And then other weeks, I just need silence. I just, I just need blank space. My husband, I love him so much, you guys. We all know this. I'm obsessed with my husband. But he is the kind of guy that can wake up and like his brain is on all cylinders. Like he just, we're having a conversation and we're doing the things. And so sometimes it's really hard to wake up in the morning, especially during the work, like the work week when he's working from home for whatever reason. Sometimes it's really, really hard for me to like get up with him because he's just like, when his alarm, sometimes you guys, sometimes he wakes up. This is not normal to me. Sometimes he wakes up before his alarm and he stays up. And I'm like, what is that? No. Like, I will take myself back to bed and I will sleep until my alarm goes off. I will actually also, I'm a snooze button girly. I just am. So when he goes up, like, he has a few minutes to collect himself. If we're both home, he'll go out and he'll let the dogs out. And then by the time I get up, so usually on the weekends, I'm the second one up because he just is up. When I get up, I need at least until like a few hours for me to just get it going. And it's weird because sometimes I'm also not like that. So this past week, for instance, I was up at like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, and I was sitting down to work. Like I was just super productive. So sometimes that's my work style, like I just have to be in the ebb and flow of everything. But I just need something to do with my hands before I can make something with my words, if that makes sense. So, like, when I get up, like, I have to go and make my coffee. I don't need the caffeine. I genuinely enjoy the taste of coffee. Like, I love it. So, I have to get up and I have to do my coffee, and then I have to, like, do my journaling, and then I read, and then, I'll write some of my book. I just need to be, like, doing something with my hands that doesn't actually like require my brain. But then other times I need to get up right away, sit down and start working, and then I can do coffee and then I can do the things. And the reality is I used to beat myself up about this. I finally realized that I'm going to stop seeing that as a flaw because here's what I know to be true. The same brain that forgets appointments is the same brain that solves complex client problems in 5 minutes, right? The same brain that avoids structure meetings is the same brain that thrives in creative flow. So I am both and. I'm both and. And for a long time, I thought that if I just tried harder, I could be more consistent. If I just bought the next planner, if I just adhered to my calendar, I could just be consistent. But to be very frank with you, consistency in the traditional sense isn't my gift. What I am is dependable. I'm the person that you want in the room when something goes sideways, right? Like, I'm the one who sees what others miss. I'm the one who can hyper focus at the 11th hour and pull off something incredible. I'm that girl. I do that. And so I know that you also have gifts like that or something similar too. Maybe your gift is that you are able to sit down and read a book and not get up off the couch for 3 hours and you've read 200 books or listened to, like my friend Addie, she's incredible. She is a knitter. She works a full-time job. She also is a mom to an incredible kid who plays soccer. She also is going through a really, really hard time with her other kid, and she still shows up and she knits, like, you guys, incredible knitting projects that she can just like bang out in hours. She has listened or read over 200 books this year. It's only July. Like, those are the gifts that she is amazing at, as well as so many other things that I probably don't even get the privilege to see. She's also dependable. Let me tell you about this girl. We went to West Virginia. If she's listening, I'm telling this story. We went to West Virginia and we're in the mountains and we had to pull over to go to the bathroom. But we also, like, we're trying to find a gas station. It's just what it is. And so I go in and we utilize the bathroom and all the things, and we get in the car and the map is blank. Our GPS is down because we're in the mountains. We don't have any signal. Let me tell you, she's like, okay, you drive. I'm going to get us out of here. She had just enough radius on her map that, like, you could see things, but it's not giving direction. You know what I mean? She got us out of the mountains in a place that we had never been before. Like, that is her gift. Like, when the pressure is on and we need to deliver, she does the thing. I do that in a completely different way. Bless her. But it doesn't look like planning out my day in 15-minute increments, right? It looks like building systems that honor my energy instead of trying to out-discipline it. So, like, in my business, I have reoccurring things that I need to do daily. You know the deal. Like, it's what it is. But I also have big projects that demand a lot of my energy and a lot of my focus. And what I have recently discovered, which I'm really leaning into, which I really, really love, is getting up super, super early, like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning when all the world is sleeping, and I get to focus on this one thing. And I get to spend 4 hours to do the thing. And then my momentum skyrockets, and now I'm like doing my everyday things, right? And I'm done working by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I have the energy to work until 5, right? Like I have just learned to embrace that it's not about sitting down at my desk from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, because everybody else is also sitting down at their desk Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. I've really realized that I have built a business that allows me to be super, super flexible. And if I want to get up at 3:30 in the morning and complete a project, I can do that. I can do that because that's when my energy is like the highest sometimes. Other times like today, I didn't get up until 5:30, but why did I not get up until 5:30? Because I didn't want to. What was I doing at 5:30 this morning? Crocheting. That's what I was doing. And then I'm like, yeah, I have other things I need to do today. I better get up out of my recliner at 8 o'clock, and here I am. So it doesn't look like planning every single increment of your day. And I think we forget that entrepreneurship is like the one space where we can actually create our own rules. But so many of us bring this corporate mindset with us, like I just mentioned, where we try to recreate the 9 to 5 in our home office. I don't know. We expect ourselves to like deliver on demand. And when we don't, we spiral. Like, this is a big thing that I have really, really been working on that I'm sharing with you so that hopefully, if you're feeling this way too, like, oh, I gotta be available 9 to 5. No, you don't. No, you don't. Why? Because I've written, and you should too, in all of your communications to all of your clients, like, I have a response time of 24 hours. I will get back to you. I will. I had a client that sent me an email at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. Have I responded? It's 10:27 in the morning. No, I have not. Why? Because I haven't gotten to my work yet. I'm doing things that fill my cup. You can too. But we tell ourselves that we're not built for this, that maybe we're not cut out for the thing we know we're being called to do. But what if like we're just using the wrong blueprint? What if we haven't found our blueprint of how we operate in life? So I want to talk a little bit more about the things I've changed. And it's not to fix myself, but it's to work with myself. So I don't take client calls before 11 o'clock. Boop. I have a lot of clients that are on PST time and I'm in EST. So most of the time, I can get a lot of stuff done before 10 o'clock because usually at 10 o'clock, they're getting up and at 'em and all the things, and so their brain turns on. And so my brain does not boot up before 10 for client work. And so I also try to like theme my days. So like I've tried to condense one day that I do heavy meetings and maybe Mondays are for admins and catch up from the weekend. Also, I take my business email off of my phone every weekend. I do. I turn it off. Turn it off. But so Mondays are for admin and catch up. Usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays are for calls. And like Wednesday afternoons are like my deep work days. But then Fridays, sometimes I work, sometimes I don't. Honestly, it just depends on my week and how I'm feeling. But I give myself buffer time between everything for mental. So if I have a heavy day of client meetings, I will buffer some time in between there to do something that is like a low ticket in my mind for myself. So, like, go to the bathroom, get another cup of coffee, like, go get a snack. I'm a snack girl. Also, ADHD. I'm a snack girl. But I try not to back anything because it just is a lot. And my nervous system by the end of the day is completely shot. And I also have to use reminders for everything. My calendar and my phone is basically my second brain. If it is not written down or it's not in my Asana, it's not getting done. I can't remember everything. We're human, right? Like, but I do create a rotating to-do list. If it doesn't get done today, it rolls over. There's no shame in that. I am done living off this have to check all the boxes thing. If it's not getting done today, great. It goes to the next day. Unless it's like a time sensitive thing, which it should be like on your top 3 to 5 anyway, it can get pushed to the next day. Now, don't be lazy about it, right? Don't be pushing things to the next day for months on end. Give yourself like it has to be done by this day. But at the same time, like these little shifts have created my relationship with work, not because they make me more productive, but because they've made me more peaceful. And my brain like appreciates that. My brain appreciates the peace. And I think a lot of us are tired of pretending that this is a linear thing. We try so hard to fit inside a schedule, a framework, a box, and then we wonder why we're exhausted. And we try to just think that if it's not linear, then it's unprofessional. And it doesn't mean that we're unreliable. It just means that you need space to think, to breathe, to build in a way that actually works for you and not for society. Some people need the structure to feel safe, right? And other people need the flexibility to feel free. And the reality of the situation is, I need both. And it took me a really long time to accept that. Here's what I wish someone would have told me. You're not a worse entrepreneur because your brain works differently. You're just going to need to build different supports. And that's not wrong, that's actually wisdom. It's wisdom to know that the quiet time in the middle of my day helps me think more clearly. That the quiet time in the early morning just allows my brain to get ready to process the day in a practical manner. But it's wisdom to set alarms, right, for transitions because your brain doesn't seem to notice time passing. That's why I have my little cube. Like I have to. Otherwise, I can work and be a perfectionist on so many projects. But that's not efficient sometimes. But it's also wisdom to leave room for your own rhythm and not apologize for it. We rarely talk about the fact that I I'm incredible at pattern recognition, right? Like I can connect the dots that most people miss. And I can think in systems even when my desk is messy. Like right now, I have a desk and it's full of clutter. Behind me is super clear. But like I can sit down and I can be super, super productive even in a mess because I can shut it off. And you're probably maybe emotionally intuitive and you can read a room fast, right? Or you might get distracted easily, but you also notice like the smallest, most meaningful details. But here's what I know is like when we care for something, we go all in, right? Like these are gifts. Even if traditional productivity world never gave you permission to see them that way, these are gifts. When I started to really like honor the way that I actually work, I actually stopped resenting my business and then it really began to flourish. Like I stopped comparing my Tuesday morning to someone else's like Instagram reel. You know how like people are like my 6 to 9 before my 9 to 5. I don't I don't really look at those anymore because I'm like, that's not me, sis. Good on you, but that's not me. Like I can appreciate that they do that, but I don't have to incorporate that into my life. And I stopped apologizing for needing longer breaks or fewer meetings. Like, I don't need to meet with my clients every week. But most importantly, like I started to feel like in control, like a CEO again. Not because I was doing more, but because I was doing what mattered. And it mattered my way. So if you're listening to this and like you're nodding along, right? I just want you to know like you're not broken. You're not behind. You're not some failure because you can't follow someone else's method or Instagram reel. Like, you're a whole person with a whole story and a whole nervous system that deserves to be cared for. And your business gets to be the place where you thrive, not just survive. I know this episode was different, like, no strategies, no steps, just the blatant honest truth about where I am. But I needed to hear this once too. So if it lands for you, then maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of something softer. Maybe it's the beginning of something wiser, and maybe it's the beginning of building something different, but it's built for you and just for you. So let this be a reminder. You don't owe anyone a perfect schedule. You don't owe the internet a highlight reel. You don't owe the business world conformity. You owe yourself peace and permission. So here it is from someone who knows you're allowed to work the way that you work. You're allowed to try again tomorrow, and you're allowed to write your own rules. And if your brain has never felt at home in a traditional productivity, maybe that's because you were born to build something new for yourself.
Hey friend, thanks for hanging out with me today. If something in this episode clicked for you, I want you to shoot me a DM over on Instagram. The link is in the show notes. Let's chat about how you're making the messy middle work for you. If you loved what you heard, would you mind sharing this episode with a friend who needs to hear it too? And drop a quick review if you don't mind. It helps get the word out, and I appreciate it more than you know. Catch you in the next one.